congregants online?
Yes.
6 people. That's excellent. Well,
we made our minyan.
We made it. And I think somebody else is coming.
Saturday morning is our bigger service usually.
You don't get it
La 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav Tzivanu v'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner V'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat La 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 la
2008.
Shabbat Shalom, welcome, good evening. With our lighting of the candles, we bring in the Shabbat light to a world in need of light. Let us turn to our Friday night service, our Kabbalat Shabbat service, literally our service for receiving the Shabbat, the service that was created 500 years ago in northern Israel in the city of Tzfat by the Kabbalists who used to go out in the evening dressed all in white, their hearts full of yearning to greet the bride Shabbat. We begin our service with the prayer for the angels, greeting the angels of Shabbat. We are on page 5. Shalom Aleichem.
We got no sound. Can you try? Did you look this way and that way and see what's going on?
Oh, because you're plugged in. Here.
Himele Malchei Malachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Gadol Nai Melech Elohim Shalom. Yurvenu v'namritu. Menuchati. La ilaha la ilaha la ilaha Shiul Adonai Shir Chada Shiul Adonai Gola Shiul Adonai Baruch Shemo Asu Miyom Yom Yeshuato Tafu Vagoyim Gevodo Olamim Nifleotav Ki Gadol Adonai Umeulal Meod Lo Ra'u Al Kol Eloi Hikol Eloi Amim Elili Adonai Shamayim Asao Ve'adar Lepanav Kol V'tiferet B'minashe Avul Adonai Mishbechol Amim Avul Adonai Gavo Va'od
So what do you put, mine or yours? That's mine.
Kevod Shema
I die, I die, I die, I die, I die, 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 I lie, la lie, lie, I lie, la lie, lie, I lie, la lie, 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 I lie, la lie, 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 I lie, la lie, lie, I die, 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 dum. I die, 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 lie, 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 la lie. I lie, lie, lie. I lie, 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 la lie, la lie, lie, la lie, la lie, lie, a lie, la lie, 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 la la lie, a lie, la lie, lie, la lie, la lie, lie, a lie, la lie, 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 a lie, la lie, lie, hey, lie, 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 a lie, la lie, 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 I lie, 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 I lie, lie, la lie, I lie, 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 I lie, lie, lie. Lifnei Adonai, kiva kiva lishpotano arv. הארץ ישפוט תבל בצדק וימים באמונתו. אדוני מלך תגל הארץ ישמחו עם רבים.
Please join me on the left-hand side, responsively, page 15.
15.
Adonai reigns, let the earth be glad, and many distant lands rejoice. Flashes of lightning illumine the land. The earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax at the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the Master of all the earth.
The heavens tell God's righteousness, and all the nations are God's glory.
Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Bottom of page 16. Or zaru ala tzadik u'lishrei lev simcha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai v'yodu lezecher kodsho. Mizmor, page 17. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. שפעות עשה, הושיע לו ימינו וזרוע קודשו, הודיע אדוני ישועתו, לעיני הגויים גילה צדקתו, זכר חסדו ואמונתו, לבית ישראל ראו כל אפסי הארץ את ישועת אלוהינו, הריעו לאדוני כל הארץ, פצחו ורננו וזמרו, זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור וכל זמרה, בחצוצרות וכל שופר, הריעו לבני המלך אדוני, ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושבה, נרות ימחאו כף, יחד הרים ירננו, לפני אדוני בחיבה, לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל וצדק, וימים במישרים, די 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 די. On page 19. Adonai malach yirgizu amim, yoshev keruvim tanut haaretz. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו ושחבו להר קודשו כי קדוש, כי אדוני אלוהינו.
Please rise. We turn to our Psalm 29, a psalm about the voice of God thundering over the waters, splitting, shattering the cedars, making the trees dance like calves, but also bringing peace, the peace of Shabbat. We're on page 21.
מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בן אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, השתחוו לאדוני ביד הקודש, כל אדוני על המים, אל הכבוד ירים, אדוני על מים, מים רבים, כל אדוני בכוח, כל אדוני מדר, כל אדוני שובר ארזים, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון, וירקידם כמו עגל לבנון וסריון כמו בן רמים. כל אדוני חוצב להבות אש, כל אדוני יכיל מדבר, יכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני יכול לילות ויחשוף יערות ובחלו כולו מרכבות Adonai lama bo yashava yishev Adonai melech leolam Adonai oz le'amo yiten Adonai yivorech ramo v'shalom Rai 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 Rai, 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 rai.
Please turn to page 23, Lechadodi, our central prayer of our Friday night service. Greeting the bride, Shabbat, raising up the bride to meet her beloved spouse in the supernal heavens. We're on page 23.
Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litila Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki mekor habracha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sov maaseh b'machshava techila Lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha kumitzei mitoch afacharav lach shevet be'emek habacha vehu yachamol alaichem la lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela התנערים מעפר קומי שבגדי תפארתך מאדוני ואילך מקרבה אל נפשי גאלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי כבאורך קומי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה לא תבושי ולא תקל מאיתנו לשאולתך כי ומטה מבך יחסו עניי עמי ונבנתה עיר אל תהילה לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה. We go to the last stanza as we rise and face the entrance to greet the bride Shabbat. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please remain standing. We turn to page 39a. Our call to worship will unite in heart as we begin our Mariv evening service.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMivorach. Baruch Adonai HaMivorach leolam va'ed.
Please be seated. We have an English reading on the far left column of page 39a. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up and eons pass away and stars spin in their orbits.
You set the rhythms of day and night, the alteration of light and darkness sings your creating word.
In rising sun and in spreading dusk, creator of all, you are made manifest.
May we always be aware of your dominion.
Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai. Amari varavim, ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amecha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limad et al kein Adonai Eloheinu, v'shochveinu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. Baruch ata Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha, ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך, היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך, בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, והיה שמיים. Impress these words of mine upon your heart and upon your soul. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Teach them to your children by speaking of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your home and on your gates. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe lemor. ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We turn to page 43b for a responsive reading. You proclaim the covenant on the seventh day. We love this day. We inherited delighting in its remembrance. From the time you bestowed a joy filled the hearts of Yeshurun, the people you redeemed. You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. In 6 days your world was formed. On the seventh day you rested. To honor your name, they sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise.
And we sing the song on page 44, the fourth line down. Who is like you, Adonai, among the mighty? Who is like you, adorned in holiness? Ay bay bay bim bim bam, ya bay bay bim bam. Mihi chamocha bailim Adonai, mihi kamocha nedar bakodesh, nurati lo tosef ele, nurati lo tosef ele, malchutecha ra'u vanecha, בוקע ים לפני משה, זלי זלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כיפדה אדוני את יעקב וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני קהל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ויעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ויעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. יתקדר ויתקדש שמי רבה, ועלמה דברה קירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל. בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן ועלמה ואמרו אמן.
Please remain standing. We have our moment of silent personal prayer, our silent Amidah, pages 47 through to 52 silently, or we can just take a few minutes in individual prayer.
La 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 oh say shalom shalom bimromav u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen.
Please remain standing. We turn to our Kiddush, our blessing over the wine as we sanctify Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'yahava uv'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemaseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'charta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh haShabbat.
Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom. My children, two little ones right here behind me, have started a habit over the last few months. See if they agree with me or not. Something will be familiar to every parent. They're on their school iPads, and on the screen, at a certain point they say it's time to stop. And what do they say? 1 more minute. 1 more minute. 1 more minute. And most times we say, okay, 1 more minute, which becomes 4 or 5 minutes. But there's one night a week where we don't say 1 more minute, we say, no, this time we're taking them out of your hand. It's really time to stop. And this is Friday afternoons when Shabbat is coming in. Because sometimes you just need to stop. We all have this 1 more minute, 1 more minute, 1 more this, 1 more that. So tomorrow in our Parsha, which is all about the golden calf, and it's in the middle of a whole section of the Torah of the book of Exodus, where we have the description of the building of a tabernacle spanning many, many chapters. Right in the middle of this, right before the golden calf, God inserts the command to keep Shabbat. One of the many times that God gives this command, but this one is actually in a lot of detail. And it's introduced in a very interesting way. God says to Moses, speak to the Israelite people and say, nevertheless, you must keep my Sabbaths, for this is a sign between me and you throughout the ages. And continues on the seventh day there shall be a Sabbath of complete rest, holy to God. They shall keep the Sabbath, observing the Shabbat throughout the ages, a covenant for all time. It shall be a sign, for in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and took a deep breath and was refreshed. Vayinafash, we were just singing not too long ago. So why does God say, in this particular instance, nevertheless, you must keep my Sabbaths? And so the commentators over the ages say, well, what was just happening? God was instructing them in building the tabernacle, the Mishkan, the house for God. And this was the most important thing that was happening for them. At Mount Sinai, they'd been passive, just receiving the Torah. When they walked through the Red Sea, they were just trying to get to the other side. But here God had given them a holy task to build a house for God with all the wisdom of their heart. And so they must have thought that building the house for God was more important than Shabbat. They should continue building it, even though it was Shabbat, because they were in the middle of it. But God was saying, nevertheless, even though you're in the middle of this task, stay with Shabbat. Another commentator, Rabbeinu Bachya, says this because Shabbat was so important. It was the first commandment given after they crossed the Red Sea, and it's equal to all the other commandments put together. And so, right, it's very easy to think, one more text message before I get on to what I really want to get on to. One more activity, one more work email, one more bit of this. It's not only about the day of Sabbath itself, but it's about putting aside that time for spiritual renewal. Because in 6 days God worked, but on the seventh day God vayinafash, God took a deep breath, not meaning that God was relaxing, but that God took a deep breath and ensouled the world, because without that seventh day, the world lacked soul. And as the Baal Shem Tov, the founder of Hasidism, says, we know that God's true name is Minucha, which means rest. So if God's name is rest, why are we also restless? And the answer is because we've forgotten who we truly are, because we are also truly in a place of rest. And so we've been given 1 day, which is a gift of Shabbat, to remind ourselves that our true nature is to be at rest. And then maybe this is one of the Jewish teachings for the world. We need to carve out Shabbat, whatever that looks like. And it's so easy to say, I need to do this, I need to do that. I'm building the tabernacle, it's more important than anything. Or the golden calf is happening around me, the whole world is collapsing. I can't stop. But nevertheless, it's a sign between God and us for all time that we need these periods of complete spiritual renewal, away from all distractions. And they're holy to God, part of the cosmos. They refresh us and they connect us to ourselves and enable our lives to be fully in line with the divine will and with the service and ideal that can help transform our world. Shabbat Shalom. Please rise, we turn to Aleinu on page 56.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומשב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו, ושכינתו זו, בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. על כן נקבל לך אדוני. נאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We turn to our mourners Kaddish. We're on page 58. These are our yard site names, the lists of those beloved family members who've deceased during in the following week throughout the years. Abraham Aginsky, Marjorie Alschuler, Marvin Annenberg, Daniel Appleman, Edgar Arden, Fidel Arden, Elsa Bernstein, Irving Braun, Irving Cohn, Sarah Dakoff, Sarah Epstein, Adolf Fleischman, Jewel Generella, Eleanor Francis Goose, Barney Greenberg, Joseph Hoffer, Elsie Horwood, Ida Levin, Sarah Kavelovitz Lipton, Dora Mann, Devra Myers, Evelyn Meyerson, Anita Miller, Barbara Ormaner, Jack Oskin, Viola Podolsky, Anna Rose, Anita Rubenstein, Harold Schultz, Bernice Scheft, Marsha Scheiner, Albert Schlom, Sarah L. Silverman, Monavar Soleimani, Bess Barber, Molly Townley, Jack Van Dam, Rosa Van Dam, Bella Crystalzan, Sadie Zevet, Albert Zimbler, Yetta Zisman. If you're observing a yard site or mourning, please rise and join me in the words of the Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, ve'alma divra kerute v'yamlich machute, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chaye dehor Beit Yisrael, v'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yesh me Rabba mevorach le'olam omer maya. יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא בריחו אלא מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבא מן שמיא וחיים עלינו והכל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו והכל ישראל ואמרו amen. We have announcements this evening from Jerry.
Thank you, Rabbi. Here are the announcements for this Friday, March 1st. Thanks to Frank Vozak for ushering. Yom Huledet Sameach to our March birthdays. Now here's something for date making and saving and planning. Come back on Sunday at 12:15 to learn about Krav Maga, the Israeli self-defense martial arts system designed for practical, easy training. No registration is required. That's going to be at 12:15 on Sunday. Next Shabbat, Kala is back. March 8th through the 10th. Registration is over, but if you are going and are willing to help, and but if you are going, and are willing to help, contact Mimi Alschuler or Barb Young. Remember to join us for Saturday morning services tomorrow, and another opportunity to learn our new melodies so that you are prepared. David Schwartz's Monday 8 p.m. class this week will be examining the traditional end of conservative Judaism. I don't know what that means. Our seniors and retirees group, will have Sandra Sokol and Janet Kellenson, retired elected local officials, speaking on the March elections this Thursday at 1 p.m. Call the office if you need information. Purim festivities are coming. On Saturday night, March 23rd, we are planning an adult Purim party with a Megillah reading and a Purim spiel. Costumes and cheer are also planned. For kids, on Sunday, March 24th, we will have the craziness we recall with the Purim carnivals. Students will have their own Megillah reading and spiel to perform. Come back tomorrow morning with the kids for Tat Shabbat for kids 7 and under, and/or junior congregation for school-aged kids. And that's all she wrote. Shabbat Shalom.
Let us conclude our service. Let's sing Adon Olam on page 211, a nice, calm, peaceful, Shabbat-like melody. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra להתנסה וחצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא עובר והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני לעם שלו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אבקיד רוחי בעת ישן ויעירה ואם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא יירא.
Please rise for a concluding bracha. Kadosh Baruch Hu, Holy One, blessed be He. May we create Shabbat in our lives, to find rest and space, to find renewal and joy. Let us say Amen.
Yivarechech Adonai v'yishmerecha.
Adonai bless and protect you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'kuneka.
May Adonai's countenance shine upon you. May Adonai bestow kindness upon you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May Adonai's countenance be lifted towards you. May Adonai grant you peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom, folks.
Shabbat shalom.
Kiddush.
Vladimir, don't forget your stuff though.
Let's go get some grape juice.
Yes, you get grape juice too, yes.
I'm well. How are you? Shabbat shalom. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again. And
My question, why are your hair so full?